Hello, everybody. My name is Jeff Koss. This is an assignment I have for Robotics 173. My first assignment is to make an LED blink for 1 second. So here's how I did it. Okay, so basically I start off by making a constant integer named LED because it's going to be an LED light, and I assign it the number of 9. That's going to be the pin number for um, the rest of this assignment. We're going to use pin 9 to control the LED blinking on and off, basically. So in the setup function, we do initialize it by calling pin mode, setting LED as the light that we're going to be using, or the pin that we're going to be using. LED is for pin number 9, and we're setting it to an output. Okay? So then in the loop, I've got two things going on here. And what I do is when I run one, I'll comment the other one out just so to write. I did this just to make it easy on myself. So the first part is basically it's going to blink for a second, turn on and turn off each second. So what we use is we use digital write. We set digital write to the LED pin, which is pin number 9 on the Arduino. It's hooked up right now, but you can't see it. And we set it to high. So high means it's turned on, and we use delay for 1,000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. Delay is going to basically keep that light on for 1 second. Then we call another digital write with LED, and we set it to low. And then we basically keep it off for another second by using delay. And it's going to keep repeating itself because this other part's going to be blocked out. Now, subsequently, I decided to modify the code to have it blink for half a second. And to do that, we basically do the same thing. We use a digital write. We assign LED to it. We put it on high to turn it on. But this time, instead of for 1,000 milliseconds, we use 500, which is basically going to be a half a second. And then we call digital write again and set LED to low. And we use the delay again to do a half a second. And it'll continue to work. That's the first part of the assignment. And I will show you an example right about now. Thank you very much.
Hey everybody. Okay, here is my blink project, blinking at 1 second. It's basically just the code that I written for this assignment. And as you can see, it's functioning pretty well. The light is going on and off at exactly 1 second. So it's functioning perfectly. That was my bird. He agrees. Okay, and here is my light, my LED light blinking at half a second for the second part of the program that I wrote after I cleared the lines that made it a statement. What do you want to call those things? Yeah. Anyway, once I implemented the code, it's working fine. So as you can see, it's blinking at exactly 1/2 a second, and that's all. That's only by modifying the delay code from 1,000 milliseconds to 500. So there you go. And my bird says hello.
Hello once again, and welcome to the second part of my assignment. For this part of the assignment, I had to use the serial bus basically to output some messages onto the serial screen. So here's what we did. I basically just used the example code that's in the Adrenal library. I'll show you where it's at here. So if you go to examples and you go down to communication, you will see serial event. And that's what we have right here. So what this does, pretty cool actually. So we define a string called input string, and we leave it empty basically. And then we define a Boolean string complete, and we assign it to false. And here's the reason why. So we initialized the serial bus. We started off at 9600 baud rate, and then we reserved 200 spaces for the input string. Now, what happens is in the loop, it's going to test to see if anything's been printed. All right, and if there's an input, something is sent to the serial bus or through the serial bus to the Arduino, it's going to output it by printing whatever's in the input string. Okay, and then it's going to check to see if the string is complete, and if not, it's going to cycle back through it and do it again. So if it's complete, it'll stop. But since it's not, since it's going to remain false, we can cycle through it. So I have the code already uploaded to my Arduino. You can't see the Arduino right now, but you won't need to for this assignment. We're going to start the serial monitor, okay? And I have auto scroll, show timestamp. Here's the important part. You have to make sure that the baud rate matches. So this is 9600 baud rate. And we're going to input a line of code. Hello, robot173. We're going to send it. So it was sent, and then it was basically erased after that. And we get nothing. We get basically a blank line sent back. So to test it again, it works. Okay, so I like this. This is pretty amazing. Communication over, digital has always been something that's fascinating. So let's do something here. Let's change the baud rate in the program to 25,000 or 250,000. Okay. Let's compile it. And let's upload it. Okay, it's uploading. So check this out. So without changing the baud rate, let's see what happens when we decide to type something in. What is going on? Send. Nothing has showed up. Well, I think that's the reason why is because you have to match the baud rate. If this COM port is acting at this baud rate, and we have set the baud rate to 250,000 on the Arduino, this is running way too slow to be picking up the information. And if we reversed it, it would probably have the same effect. So let's do this. Let's put it to 250,000. Now let's type. What is going on? And send. There it goes. It picked it up. So that proves that this is hooked up to the Arduino and it is sending and receiving messages. But I've got to do this experiment here. Let's put this back to 9600. And this time, let's make sure that it's running at 9600 by okay, so it is receiving a signal. Let's see what happens when we go to. Let's go back to 250,000. Let's see what happens when we amp it up on the computer side. Let's see if it's going to win. It does. Hey, it does. Oh, 1 second here. Sorry about that. I'm filming this live, so we get a lot of different things going on around here. Well, that's interesting because so that means that as long as the COM port here is running at least 9600, it's going to pick it up. But if it's running slower, it doesn't. Let's test that theory. So if we're at 9600, let's drop down to 1200 baud rate. Let's do this. Well, once again, let's see if that works. It doesn't. Let's clear the output. Let's do this again. Huh. Very interesting. So if this is running slower than the baud rate on the Arduino, it's not going to pick it up. But if it's running at the specific baud rate, it'll pick it up. But what's really amazing, let's try 2 million. No, it's not. It's not picking it up there either. So the scientific method is telling me that we can pick this up as long as it's between a certain number. Huh, that didn't work either. That's not working. Let's drop it back down to, so my hypothesis is wrong then. This might be totally random. Okay, so it works at 9600. Let's try 74. No. Well, I guess at this stage we can say that if you don't have the same baud weight running, it's going to have unpredictable results. Obviously, in some cases it worked, in some cases it didn't. So that's interesting. I guess you learn something new every day. Anyway, this is Jeff Koss, Robot 173, and I'm signing off. Thank you very much. Have a great day.